The NBA season is finally over and the Golden State Warriors are NBA champions after the conclusion of the 2022 NBA Finals. With that, we have the offseason approaching us like a jet plane. And this offseason is going to be great because there are going to be so many great trades and free agency signings. And today's video topic is about free agents. We're looking at 6 free agents who might switch teams in this 2022 NBA offseason. So without further ado, let's get right to the content. The first player is an individual who was an NBA star in the 2010s era, but because of injuries has not been the player he was in the past, and that is John Wall. John Wall has been on the Houston Rockets for 2 seasons, but he has not been playing and has been on the sidelines because he does not fit the Houston Rockets timeline of their young core, because he is 31 years old, so he has not played an NBA game this season. But the thing is, he is a free agent for 2022, so he is most definitely going to switch teams because he and the Houston Rockets made an agreement that he would not play a game for them. So I think with John Wall, he's probably going to want to go on a team that has a good chance of winning the championship, like the Brooklyn Nets, because I think he's going to want to ring chase now that he's in a point in his career where he's not a star anymore but can be a great role player on a team where he can be a great player as a supporting castman. And I honestly think that will be better for his career than to be a star on a bad team. The next player is James Harden, who just switched teams. So I do not think that he will switch teams again this offseason because he just played on the Brooklyn Nets for 1.5 seasons and then played with the Philadelphia 76ers for the last part of the 2021-22 season. And if I was him, I would not switch teams. I mean, sure, the Philadelphia 76ers just lost in the second round, but that was only because Joel Embiid got injured and could not play in 2 of the 6 games in the series versus the Heat. So I definitely think that James Harden is going to stay with the Philadelphia 76ers because he just got there, and I think they're going to have a great offseason, and they might be even title contenders next year for the championship. But if he were to switch teams, I think he'd go to a team that has a great chance of winning the NBA championship, just like John Wall, because he's getting to a point in his career where he needs to ring chase because he has not won a title yet. So I think if he does leave, which I don't think he will, he might go to a team like the Los Angeles Lakers or Milwaukee Bucks, but probably not the Lakers because of their salary cap. The next player is Bradley Beal, who has been stuck on the Washington Wizards for 11 years because of his loyalty. Bradley Beal is probably one of the most loyal players in the NBA, with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo as players that are very loyal. Bradley Beal has confirmed his commitment to the Washington Wizards again and again. But I think this is the offseason he's leaving the Wizards, especially since they haven't even made the playoffs in 3 years. Bradley Beal has been rumored to go to a lot of teams in free agency. The Philadelphia 76ers want him, but I don't think he should go there because James Harden is already playing on the Philadelphia 76ers. And yes, he is a free agent, but like I said earlier, I don't think he'll leave the Philadelphia 76ers. I think he'll sign an extension. And then he's also been rumored to go to the Miami Heat. But Bradley Beal does not fit the Miami Heat's mentality. Bradley Beal is an ISO player who really just wants to score points. But the Miami Heat are a grit and grind team who play out in transition and play defense, and that is just not Bradley Beal. I think a team that he's more likely to go to is someone like the Utah Jazz, because Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert will likely leave the franchise this year, and he could be a good player to save their franchise and don't let them get into poverty, because the Jazz are a small market team. The next player is Kyrie Irving, who has been playing on the Brooklyn Nets for a couple of years now. Kyrie Kyrie Irving has been rumored to go to a California team, either the Los Angeles Clippers or Los Angeles Lakers, but I just don't think that's realistic considering both of the team's salary cap situations right now. The Lakers already have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are getting paid the mega max, and the Clippers already have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who are getting a boatload of money. So I don't think Kyrie will sign with either LA team because the salary cap would just be insane, and they'd be paying their other players like way less than everybody else. And I mean, that's common for NBA franchises. The stars get a lot of money, but that would be sort of egregious, and players would be complaining about money. And that would just not be a great look for either LA team. A team that I do think Kyrie would want to go to, though, is maybe a team where he could be the number one option, like a playoff team that is pretty good but does not have a number one star. And I think he could be a number one star on a team like that, like maybe the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kyrie's had a crazy career so far. He has won a championship with LeBron James and has played on many teams, but has been hated on once he leaves that team. And I think he just wants a fresh start for his career so he can get 2 championships. The next player is Zach LaVine, and Zach LaVine has been playing on the Chicago Bulls for a while now. Zach LaVine has been rumored to go to a few teams. Zach LaVine has been rumored to go to the Portland Trailblazers, which would be great for me because I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan, and I think that him and Damian Lillard would be a great fit along with Anthony Simons. I think LaVine could play small forward, and he would be a great fit besides Lillard. The only problem is defense because they are both not very good defenders, but I digress. He also could go to a team like the San Antonio Spurs. Woj has reported that both of those teams are very, very highly likely for him to go to in the offseason. And I think both of those teams are great fits for him on the offensive end for the Blazers, but not so much on the defensive end. But he would be a great fit on the San Antonio Spurs on the offensive end and the defensive end because his bad defense DeJounte Murray would make up for because he's one of the best defensive guards in the league. And then on offense, you already know what Zach LaVine can do. He's one of the best scorers in the league today, averaging 25 points a game. So when you take all of that into account, I think Zach LaVine will sign with the San Antonio Spurs, and I think he could make them a playoff team in the near future. But him going to the Portland Trailblazers would still be pretty cool for a Trailblazers fan like me. The next player we're talking about is Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges has had quite a start to his career with the Charlotte Hornets and just recently became their best player when 2 seasons ago he was their 4th or 5th option. And I think he will definitely get a max contract this offseason. He was probably going to get a max extension from the Charlotte Hornets, but after the Instagram post he just posted, which I'm not going to talk about because it is explicit, I highly doubt that he will be a Charlotte Hornet next season. And he definitely has some options for teams to go to. I think he could definitely be a Utah Jazz player, and I could definitely see him being a Phoenix Sun or a Brooklyn Net. Although Miles Bridges is in a situation where this could be a make or break offseason for his legacy, especially since I think he could be a star on a team that is not a playoff team like maybe the Houston Rockets, and I think he could average 25 points a game on a team like that. Anyway, that concludes my offseason video about free agents. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, turn notifications on, like, share, comment, all the good stuff, and as always, I'm your boy Hyper Hooper Basketball, and we're out.